The Biden administration loves to brag about its diverse slate of nominees. Your actual qualifications aren't really that important. It's more about how you look. But we thought Sam Brinton might be an exception. Sam, an MIT grad and an expert, quote unquote, in nuclear energy, started back in June as a deputy assistant secretary in the Department of Energy. But we quickly discovered that Sam, who goes by the they-them pronouns, might not be the right person for the job. According to a report, there were substantial irregularities during Sam's hiring process, and Sam's gender identity may have taken precedence over actual qualifications. Perhaps the Biden administration chose this former nominee for other reasons. Maybe they were impressed by Sam's lectures on kink or their interest in pup play, whatever that is. Either way, it looks like Sam's not only unqualified, he might also be a criminal. Brinton was allegedly charged with felony theft last month. Biden's nuclear energy expert apparently stole a woman's luggage at the Minneapolis-St. Paul airport on September 16th. And there's video. Took the luggage, took the tag right off the bag, and ran into an Uber, and then checked into a hotel. And when cops asked if he took the woman's bag, he said, "Not that I know of, but these look like my clothes," quote unquote. And we called Hennepin County, and they confirmed the person arrested matches Sam's first, middle, and last name. We have not independently confirmed this. We really hope Sam is not the same guy who Biden hired. We hope we're wrong. We hope it's a different guy with the same first, middle, and last name. Now, if Sam did do this, that would make this the third transgender U.S. official to have been charged with a crime this year.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
We're going to the White House now, where President Biden is calling on Congress to avert a looming rail strike and impose a settlement that some union members rejected. The president is warning that a national rail shutdown would devastate the economy. Chief White House correspondent Cecilia Vega has the details. Good morning, Cecilia.
Hey, George, good morning to you. So the deadline for these unions and these rail workers to come to an agreement is now in less than 2 weeks. And if they don't, President Biden says we are looking at a potentially crippled economy and many industries shutting down. And this morning, he is not alone in this dire warning. Hundreds of business groups have come together to send a letter to Congress urging them to intervene, also saying that a rail service shutdown, listen to this, for any period of time could cost upwards of $2 billion per day. And we are not just talking about passenger travel here. A strike could threaten everything from farming and food to crucial chemicals for clean water, causing major supply chain disruptions. But this is not expected, the good news here, to impact holiday gifts. Those were shipped to stores months ago. But the sticking point right now for many of these rail workers is overpaid sick days. The president's involvement, this is a big one, calling on Congress to act, signals a major shift for him that could potentially pit him against his union allies. You know this, he is a big union backer, a staunch union backer. He has called himself the most pro-union president ever. He has been hesitant to get involved in congressional intervention in union issues in the past. But right now, George, he says that he was reluctant to get involved in this one, but the potential that this could cripple the economy was just too much. He had to get involved here, he says.
What's the outlook in Congress?
Well, look, Speaker Pelosi says that Congress lawmakers do plan to intervene this week. This is what they could do. They could push the timeline back to keep these talks going. They could call in an independent arbitrator. And they could also push a deal through legislation. But the big headline here, George, this deadline is on December 9th, so this clock is ticking.
Oh, sure. Cecilia Vega, thanks.
Look, we just saw how Donald Trump has danced around or with white supremacists over the years.
Yeah.
But sitting at a table.
Yeah.
At his home, at Mar-a-Lago, with the white supremacists like Nick Fuentes. Does that cross some kind of new line?
Well, look, for most people, it's crossing a line. For Donald Trump, it's sort of another day in the life. And I think we've just got to acknowledge that the president now has sort of joined the D list of celebrities. This is what you do. You hang out with discredited entertainers. You hang out with, neo-Nazis, and you try to make time with whoever will give you attention. But the fact of the matter is, it's appalling when anyone in public life has any degree of hesitation about hanging out with those people who promote anti-Semitism, racism, and all forms of hate.
What's the impact of it? What's the impact of a former president and the world seeing a former president dining with an avowed white supremacist?
John, it is the normalization of hate. We're seeing it again and again. And think about it. We're still mourning those who were shot dead in Colorado Springs 2 weeks ago just because they were LGBTQ. 2 weekends ago, we had an anti-Semitic attack narrowly averted right here in New York City, where men were apprehended or intercepted at Penn Station with automatic weapons, bulletproof vests, and knives. They were planning on attacking a synagogue. And now this is the normalization of hate, where a presidential candidate or someone in public life thinks it's permissible, again, to spend time with people who spew prejudice and hate.
So, as a civil society, what should we do about this? What is the right response?
Well, I think one thing, what we're already seeing and you're showing, are people, prominent Republicans, calling it out when a Republican in their own midst, again, promotes hate. Because you need to call it out when it happens from your own side. Democrats need to call out Democrats. Republicans need to call out Republicans. But the second thing is we've got to cut off the oxygen to these people. Trump and Nick Fuentes, they thrive on attention. We've got to cut it off and really reconsider how we even cover these people anymore.
Well, how do you do both, though? How do you call it out and cut off the oxygen at the same time?
I love the way the New York Post, covered his announcement. They said, Florida man announces run for president. That's how we need to treat Donald Trump, not as a credible former politician, but as a discredited hack, again, who weaponizes hate and who uses anti-Semitism to advance his agenda. That's not okay, no matter how you vote, no matter what your party affiliation. There should be nothing partisan about promoting prejudice.
It was interesting. Marco Rubio and Mike Pence, who we heard part of his response there, they said basically both the same thing. They both condemned the fact that Trump sat with Nick Fuentes, but they both also made a point of saying that they don't think that Donald Trump himself is an anti-Semite. What do you think of those who choose to make that distinction?
I think it's fair to say that this man whose daughter, whose grandchildren are Jewish, has a complicated relationship with the Jewish people. But when you validate the people who spew anti-Semitic venom, that's enough. We can't judge people on what they say. We've got to judge them on what they do, John. And again, whether it's saying there are fine people on both sides, whether it's pretending like you don't know who David Duke is, whether it's telling the people rampaging through the Capitol wearing Camp Auschwitz sweatshirts that you love them. Again, we've got to judge Donald Trump on what he does again and again and again. And it's validating the worst elements of society.
So a lot of parents have had this experience. You send your kid off to college, you're proud. Dylan got into Duke. We're so happy. And then the kid comes back and hates not only you, but the country and himself. And the chances of that child having a happy, productive personal life go to about zero. That's the fruit of liberal arts in this country now. So it's a very common experience, but one mother decided to try and fix it. She sent her daughter to attend Mount Holyoke University of Massachusetts, tuition over $50K a year. The child comes back totally programmed, like a cult member. So the mom spends $300 a day for a deprogrammer to undo the brainwashing, and it worked. Annabella Rockwell is the daughter. She graduated Mount Holyoke. She's now the development director at PragerU. She joins us. So, Annabella, thank you so much for coming on. So, deprogram suggests undoing unreasonable religious belief. Did you feel like a cult member after Mount Holyoke?
Tucker, thank you so much for having me. First, I'm going to say that I arrived at Mount Holyoke bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, so excited to be there in 2011. And as soon as I got there, I was told that, I should refer to myself as a first year, not a freshman, because we were a historically women's college. I was left a note in my mailbox saying, he may be a she may be a he, don't assume anyone's gender. And I thought, oh, okay, that's new. And then the last thing was we had the moho chop, which was this ritualistic haircut that people did in the first semester where everyone would shave their head, sort of as an act of rebellion. So to answer your question, yes. I mean, as time went on and I studied history, I became completely brainwashed into believing that I was oppressed by our toxic patriarchal society. And I left school. I was sad, anxious, intellectually starving. And by 2015, when I graduated, I completely estranged myself from my family.
Yeah, well, that is underneath it all. We joke about the lunacy on college campuses, but the real cost is not that they'll vote Democrat. The real cost is that they won't love their parents anymore. And that's the most upsetting part of it, I think. So how did you get better?
So in this panic of me not communicating with my mother, she consulted a cult specialist. This person gave her devastating statistics that most people don't make it out, but a glimmer of hope that it tends to be young women who do. So she spoke to him, and he made it very clear to her, do not affirm your daughter's newfound identity. You know her best. She is your child. Don't affirm her.
Yes.
So she was taught how to communicate with me. Now, to actually be deprogrammed, I had to humble myself. A couple things. I reconnected with my family. I moved home. I asked for forgiveness. I admitted I was wrong. Secondly, I made a lifestyle change. I stopped drinking. I started to believe in God again. And lastly, I had to unlearn my 4 years of wokeism by watching 5-minute PragerU videos online for free.
Amazing. It is a cult. Its aim is to separate you from the people who love you most. And I'm so impressed and have such respect for your mother for taking it as seriously as it deserves to be taken, and for you for getting out of it. Annabelle Rockwell of PragerU, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.